So Donald Trump has picked Amy Coney Barrett to replace her, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, on the Supreme Court. She's been a judge on the U.S. Court of Appeals since Trump nominated her in 2017. Now let's get into her history a little bit. She believes, quote, life begins at conception. She has criticized the Affordable Care Act. I said that all wrong. Affordable Care Act. Her confirmation would threaten the health of millions of Americans. She has sided with employers who are accused of racial discrimination. She has consistently ruled in favor of the wealthy and powerful. She has intentionally and cruelly misgendered transgender people and has demonstrated hostility towards LGBTQ plus rights. She has supported expansive gun rights and voted in favor of the Trump administration's anti-immigration policies. If her confirmation is successful, this will be Trump's third Supreme Court pick.
Big sigh.
I mean, big sigh.
Some presidents don't get to pick one. The fact that he might pick 3 is just like mind-blowing. Also, I mentioned this earlier, but if he successfully picks her and she gets nominated and she gets a seat in the Supreme Court, it would be majority conservative. And like we mentioned before, these seats are appointed for life or until they retire. And it's very political, obviously. For instance, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, one of the last interviews she gave, she said, like, they're like, you're getting old. She was 87. Like, why aren't you going to retire? And she's like, well, at my age, I take it year by year. But a Democratic president nominated me in, and I would like to leave when a Democratic president is in office. And so obviously it's very political with like when people leave. And so once they have the majority, unless they die, like if they retire, they're going to retire during a Democratic or Republican president. So like, long story short, if this woman gets appointed, we will have a conservative Supreme Court for a long time, a very long time, probably for our lifetime, maybe. So it's just like crazy to me that this could happen. It's also crazy to me that people still think this way. Like, do I live in a bubble or like, what?
I know. I mean, when we hear all this news, we're like, God, like we say this every episode. We're like, what can we do? And that's the thing. It's a fucked up system. But as for right now, we have to kind of play the game. And the only way we can make a difference right now when it comes to the Supreme Court is by casting our votes on November 3rd, right? Election day on November 3rd. So make sure you're voting. That's all I can say. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen the next 40-ish days, but please vote on November 3rd. And that's how you can use your voice. And that's how we can make sure for the rest of our lifetime and generations to come, we hopefully did the right thing.
Exactly. And when you're like looking at the ballot, there's also obviously a lot of other things on the ballot. Something really interesting that I'm going to pull up in a second is something that Alex actually posted on your Instagram story, I believe.
Oh, was it from today, right now? I was mad this morning.
Oh, were you? I'm trying to find it. Do I not message you a lot? Oh, yeah, I do. I found it. Okay. Okay, so something I wanted to also mention while you're voting, some positions that have power over the police in your city. So, you know, obviously a lot of hot topics are going on in this election. Every election, I feel like people say this is the most important one of our lifetime, but this honestly could be, especially now that there's this spark of people wanting equality, police reform, the Supreme Justice seat is up for grabs. There's a lot at stake that can really impact us and our kids and our grandkids. So some elected positions that have power over the police in your city, district attorney. So they're the prosecutors that decide who to charge with what crimes. The sheriffs are the police chiefs. And those positions are voted in. State legislators, so obviously they can pass or amend laws and bills in the state. City council members are very important. So basically they pass all local laws that are specific to you and your city, obviously. And those are also appointed, and those are the people that actually have the most impact on your day-to-day life. So it's very important that you keep in mind when you're voting for that, and also obviously mayors. A tip I would do is when you're looking for voting and who you're going to vote for, if there's an incumbent, which means they've held office before, and they're look at how they responded to all of this. Did the sheriff, how did he respond to Breonna Taylor's death? How is he responding to the Supreme Court vacancy right now? Like, just look them up, research them. What did they say or what didn't they say? Silence says a lot. If they didn't say anything when Breonna Taylor died and to all the things that happened, George Floyd, etc., like, you know, that's something to keep in mind, because if they didn't say something, that probably means they didn't have anything good to say. Or that they're not for the movement. And so, just my tip.
Yes, I fully agree. Fully agree.